I'll send you the video afterwards as well. I might as well just put it in the Discord. Hey, it's probably better.
Yeah, yeah.
But as I was saying, it's the same setup. So like when I was saying everything's fractal, like what you see on the 1 minute will happen on the 30 minute and the hour as well. So
Uh,
if you trade the hourly, you can technically trade the 1 minute as well, if that makes sense.
but wouldn't the 1 minute, 3 minute be much faster to catch over the high time frames? High time frames maybe like it's slower, so you are there's less pressure to quickly
Yeah.
see a shot.
Look, it depends on how you want it. Let me get Ryan's chat up because in case he starts talking again. Where you at?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, it's the same, but you're right. It is a lot quicker. Like this demand zone, you had how many hours? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Essentially 10, 11 hours to catch this trade. But that's why I just set my alarm and I just forget about it until price comes into here.
yeah,
And you can have the same thought process over 11 hours in like an hour. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Like,
Hmm.
because this is exactly what I would use as a setup as well. Like, I have this is the breaker structure, right? And I think I've said it like 5 times now that this is the candle, the last down candle before the breaker structure. So it's going to be our demand zone, right?
Yeah. Would it be also called a protected low?
Yeah, this is going to be the protected. Sorry, this one's going to be the protected low.
Yeah. So this is where I would essentially set my stop loss, right?
Yeah, so if you break below here, that's a change of character now.
Mm.
Doesn't mean price can't go up here, but it just means the overall flow or price action is bearish now,
Right, right,
right? And plus we're on the higher time frame, so that's more there's more weight to that as opposed to the 1 minute,
right.
right? What if your setup doesn't align with the session you trade? Do you break your rules or lose the trade? The setup doesn't align with the session. I was just saying before, so you can trade on the session if you want, but right now, like it really doesn't matter. It's just a volatility thing. Like, if you want to trade only in the session, absolutely go ahead, do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, but you can also just trade out a session. It's not really a rule for me. It might be for you, but like I've just found like if the setup's there, I'll just take it. Honestly, if it looks really good, I'll take it.
So you don't factor sessions into consideration, like whether it's the London Open or the London Close.
I
Then
do. So if so 5 p.m. my time, so Melbourne time, right
yeah,
before maybe like an hour or two before London starts, you'll see a big spike in volatility, right? And is this it? No, be 17. So like here, you'll see a big spike in volatility, and this is where normally price starts to go south a little bit. So I tend not to take trades at like 5 o'clock on the dot. And then this is London session afterwards. As you can see, there's a lot more movement.
yeah.
So that's
Usually,
why
the evening session you see very low movement, and London session a lot of volatility.
a lot of volatility. Yeah. I mean, but like if the setup is there, I'll take it. Like that's not one of my rules. One of my rules. I've got my rules written out. I think um here we go.
Oh, nice call.
These are my rules here.
I see.
So you must cover the zone. I don't give a fuck about the RR. Above 1 to 2 is fine. Right?
Right.
And don't trade every day. You don't have to. Staying liquid is a win. Right? If you don't take a trade today, it's a win, right? You have money in the account.
Yeah.
Um, and one of my personal rules is do not trade again after a loss for at least a couple hours. This is just a mental thing because I like find myself, I just like go into revenge trading very easily.
Or revenge trading is a very it's a very tough thing to overcome.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
psychology thing.
Because not even like you don't even realize it when you do it. Ryan, do you have what session do you normally trade? Let's see when he types it in. Um, but yeah, you don't even realize you revenge trade. Yeah, London. So like I was the same. I was trading London session as well. But once you start like seeing these setups, this was at like 11 o'clock. So most of my trades happen either 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 8 p.m., 8 p.m., or in the morning as well. 8 a.m. is when most of my trades happen. So this is when was this? So yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this would be perfectly fine. In my books anyway. Is 8 a.m. London Asian
Yeah.
session? Great question. Yes.
For me it is. For me it is.
Let me
It
search.
depends on the country you're in. 8
Yeah.
a.m. in what time zone?
Sydney, Tokyo. Take out Sydney. Take out London. So it would be in 11 to like 6, 11 to 6. 8 a.m. What is 8 a.m. for us? Because Sydney and Melbourne are the same time zone. Yeah, it'd be Sydney session. Um, yeah, let's take this out. So again, this is the same setup that I always do. This is a continuation trade because we're very clearly bullish, right? That's our first like agenda. Find out what like our bias is, right?
Mm.
And then this, we find our 4 hour daily supply zone. So this will be the same. This shows up on the, where'd it go?
So this is essentially your checklist, am I right?
That's my checklist. So I'll just copy and paste that into every trade. So you can just copy it like that. And then once you go Control V, it'll pop up.
Ah,
So I recommend you have it in the Pine editor here,
right. Okay.
right? And if we go 1 hour, go back to where I was. So here, right? This is my 1 hour demand zone, right? Change that to that. Not as strong, but it's still pretty strong as an hour demand zone, right? Oh, my the daily. So I'll set an alert here, right? And I'll get triggered in. Once I see the alert, what I'm looking for next is watch for 1 hour resistance candles, right? That means, see how we had such like don't open that. Bearish movement here.
Mm.
Like all the bearish candles are super strong, right? And then now, once we get into the demand zone, they're a lot smaller and there are a lot more bearish candles as well. See how there's a reduction in the bearish pressure here?
Yeah.
Like, look how
Because it's
small
way
these
smaller.
bearish candles are. What were you saying, sorry?
Yeah, the candle's getting much smaller. So it's a sign of like perhaps a
Weakness.
reversal.
Yeah, not even a reversal. It's just sign of weakness. Like, there's less sellers now. Less people are willing to sell here,
Yeah.
right? So that means this demand zone is very likely to now show a move up, right? Or yeah, a reversal, I guess. So that's done, right? If we walk through it like this, like I normally do. So that's done. And we watch for 1 hour resistance candles. Next, I zoom down to the 15 minute. Now, what do I see? So I'm waiting for a 15-minute chalk refinement, right? So we have a higher high, a lower low, a higher high, but we don't make that lower low. So we keep going up, and that will be our change of character there, right?
Mm.
Now, this is where you need to use discretion, right? We have a lot of supply zones here, or a lot of demand zones here, right? We have this one, we have this one, we have all the way down here, right? There's so many. So now, what I'm going to wait for is a return back into this structure because again, we're moving in waves, right? So we're moving
Yeah.
like that. We'll make a break structure and we'll make our way back into this area here, right? That's the reversal. Let me know if I'm like chatting shit because I know it's a lot.
No, no. I think once it breaks the structure, what usually traders wait for is a retest in the price. So the price goes back down, and then you make the long entry.
Yeah, yeah. Does that make sense, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yes. No. Maybe he's typing something out. But yeah, so you're right. So you wait for that breaker structure. Yep. So you wait for that breaker structure, and there's gonna be a retracement back into here, right? So I just use this line, right? So once we're back inside of structure, this is where I'm gonna look for buys, right? Now, what I'm gonna look for is a 3-minute IC. So we had our 15-minute chalk refinement, right? So these are gonna be our zones all here, which is kind of useless because there's so many.
Mm.
Now, this is where the 3-minute IC or the internal change comes in. So if we go all the way here, as you can see, right, we had this is our 3-minute time frame. We had a move up, right, a higher high, and now we had a change of character there. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Right, we had our 3-minute IC. We had a change of character. We get templates, right? And now our 3-minute order flow is bearish. Does that make sense? Because
Right.
we respected this high high, had a lower high, and then we kept going down,
Low, low, low.
a lower low. Yeah. Now our order flow is bearish, right? We're not looking for buys just yet. And then Dev, do you want to tell me what this like what you would do if you're looking for a 3-minute IC, like where that would be?
3-minute IC, I would put it like right
The
where your
3-minute
3 minutes.
internal change of character.
Right. You move your cursor to the right at the bottom.
Hmm.
I can't really pinpoint my mouse, but
Give me
essentially the trade goes past the previous
like here.
yeah. Once it goes past the previous lower high, then
Uh-huh.
let's consider a break or structure or internal change of character. Sorry.
Yeah, internal change. So it would be this one here.
Yeah,
So good. So this would be an internal change of character. So now, where's my checklist gone? Okay. So now our internal change of character is done on the 3-minute as well. Yeah.
it's correct, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's done, right? So now our order flow is bullish again, right?
Right.
Now what I'm waiting for is it's easier. Normally 3-minute demand zones are super hard to pinpoint. So what I just go down to the 15-minute and I just put the internal and then why is this one covered? Do you want to tell me why?
Why is this one covered?
This bearish candle. Why is that one the demand zone, Ryan or Dev? Nothing.
Because um,
I was just saying why. So why
Buy's trying to push the price down to, huh?
why is this the demand zone? Like why is this section the demand zone is basically the question. You said it before with the internal protected low because
Uh,
we had this internal change, right? Now
yeah.
our order flow is bullish. It's all right. We're bullish. So this is
Because
the
it wants
protected
to go to the
low.
previous low.
Yeah, so this is our protected low, right? And we had our 3-minute IC as per the plan.
Mm.
That was it. And now this is our demand. This is our 3-minute demand. It's gonna be a 15-minute. I think it's 15 minutes the clearest. So I just do a 15-minute demand. And then anywhere in here, I'd take the trade, right? So if you do something like that right in the middle and keep a little bit of a gap, like 4 pips, right? Then I would target probably either here, or if you're feeling really optimistic, all the way up there. And that could have been like that. You'd probably close this trade around here if it
Right.
doesn't reach all the way to the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put this checklist, or if you want to write it down as well, I'll put it in the chat too.
Yeah, I wrote it on a paper, but yeah, you can put it in the chat as well.
Yeah.
There's a copy and paste.
Yeah. So can you see how we went from the higher time frame to the lower time frame?
Yeah.
So five.
So it goes from higher time frames then all the way down to the 1 second on the MT4, right?
Yeah,
Just
so you can
slowly work your
use
way
the
down.
1 second. For this one, I probably wouldn't, just because we have such a clear demand zone, right? We have such a clear demand zone. Really no need to try get any better of an entry than that.
But usually the market isn't this perfect, right? Like
Yeah.
easy to read. Sometimes they're a bit all over the place.
Yeah, if you're not sure about the demand zone, then absolutely we'll use the 1 minute, with 1 second. Because like if you don't see that change of character, more than likely it's just gonna run straight through it.
Right.
So because we had everything, we it was perfect, right? We had there should be a 1 hour as well, 1 hour, 4 hour, just a higher time frame demand zone, right? We had that, which was this, right? We watched for 1 hour resistance candles, which is I think it's a stop, which is this section here. Does that make sense, Ryan? The 1 hour resistance candles.
Wait, is Ryan here?
Yeah,
I
he's in
don't
the
think.
chat. Ah, his internet's breaking out. That's right.
Oh, but what if, let's say, one of the checklists doesn't show any confirmation? Let's say if you're on the perhaps the 1 hour resistance can watch for 1 hour resistance candles, and then it
Mhm.
doesn't show any confirmation for that.
Yeah, okay. That's a good question.
But perhaps once you go on a 15-minute time frame, and then it shows confirmation.
So this is where this happened, right? Ryan, admit. So right, we don't see any, we have our demand zone here, right? Because that caused the
Yes.
break of structure, right? We have the demand zone, right? And we have no 1 hour. Can I paste this in as well? So this is where discretion is important. Like I fucking preach depression. This discretion. Um, so we have our higher time frame supply and demand zone, right? That's checked, which is that.
Yeah.
And our alert would be here, and then and then you would be triggered in. So right now you're watching the trade, right? Now watching for 1 hour resistance candles, right? Yes, you could, but when you see a candle like this, you should already be in here, right? Like on the 15 minutes, pretty clear, but on the 1 hour, you really can't see anything, right? Does that
Uh,
make sense? Just be
yeah.
vigilant, right? If you don't see that 1 hour change of character or that 1 hour resistance candle, just go down to the 15 minute and just have a look. And this is
So
a
if
pretty
it shows
aggressive
confirmation,
trade.
then the 1 hour it doesn't really matter, is it?
It matters, but like if you see like look how quickly we had that internal change, right?
Yeah.
We had that internal change so quickly within that first candle we had that internal change as opposed to as opposed to here, right? We still had that, like this was the high that we had to break for it to be an internal change or for it to be a change of character.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like if I zoom down to the 15-minute,
But I'm still not understanding on this point of discretion, like the term of discretion basically.
the discretion. So, like, okay,
Yeah.
if you think about it, right? If I could load these into a machine, like an AI, and it can do this, uh, slash bearish candle. Yeah, exactly. That's it. So he just said on Discord, why is this demand zone here? Was it because it was the last bearish candle before the move up? Yeah, exactly. Same thing here and same thing here, right? That's perfect. So if you could load these rules into a machine and just get it to trade, you'd be a billionaire, right? If it worked
Uh,
like this every time.
yeah.
But it doesn't. So like this is where discretion is like using your own best judgment to find when to enter and when to not. And that's kind of
All
where
right.
experience comes in.
Essentially intuition, right?
Intuition, yeah. Like that's
Ah,
something you can't teach a robot,
yeah.
right? You just have to see this pattern so many times. And it's never the same. Like there'll be slight variations, but like
Mm.
something like this, like we came into the demand zone, yes, but what's the high that we need to break for it to be a 15-minute change of character, right? It's not this one because there's no low here. It's clearly this one.
Ah, this is based on what you see.
Yeah, like it's never robotic. You should never be like brain dead when you're trading.
Right, right.
And that's why you can't like that's why over trading is shit. You can't overtrade. There's so much concentration that goes into one trade. You can't do that for 20 times a day.
Yeah, definitely.
So with the discretion, where that comes in is I'm waiting for this high to be broken. So I have plenty of time to stop, get out of it. So I have plenty of time to watch the 1 hour candles when it comes to where'd it go? When it comes to here, I have plenty of time to watch these candles because I'm just waiting for this high to be broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in this case, the most recent high is up here, which makes no sense, right? This is where I take shorts. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The red zone is usually where you take shots.
Yeah. And why is this a supply zone?
It's a protected high.
This one's a protected high. What about this one?
This one, is it a consolidation candle?
No, because this one is the last candle. Yeah, technically, this is the last candle that created, or the
Break
last
of
up
structure.
candle, yeah, that created the break of structure. So there's
Oh,
plenty of there's a lot of sellers here wanting to break this structure, right? And some of them missed their trade. So they're
so
waiting for it
price
to,
will retrace.
yeah, it'll retrace into this zone or this zone, depending on which one's strongest, and just fly down.
Ah, yes, yes.
So we wait for that. We use our discretion, right? So as I can see, the next probably 15-minute high is either here or there's this one, right?
Mm,
And I could have entered here, yes, but that's just more risk. You know what I mean? Like we're already inside the structure.
right.
So any ideal entry is if you scroll down, I'm waiting for this high now, this 3-minute high to be broken. And I can use a 3-minute demand and then take that trade then.
Right.
I think it's probably easier if you just stick to that 15-minute change of character, get used to it, and then you'll be able to get to these more higher risk entries. Because it's a lot, this is higher risk, absolutely. This is
So
not
it's
as,
better I stick to the 15-minute time frames to get my confirmation rather than 3 minute.
yeah, so just get that confirmation on the 15-minute, and then as you get more comfortable and like more, yeah, more comfortable in that 15-minute strategy, you can kind of use that into the 3 minutes.
Uh okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I did. So I just saw that 3 minute change of character. This is the demand zone. I saw it respect it, and I used the 1 minute second change of character, 1 second change of character to enter and just take the trade all the way up here. I could have put my stops here, but that's a 1 to 2. And that's
Uh,
not ideal. So I just put it here. Kind of broke my rules a little bit, but this was such a good zone because we had such a powerful zone here and the 3 minute zone here. I was like, why not?
but ideally the stop loss should be much lower, right? With
Ideally, it should be back here, but
yeah.
there's very little reward here.
But then your RR becomes much smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's what you need to put in if you want to keep going long-term trading, put in that like lower time frame analysis. Use your 15-minute change of character.
Okay. So even in swing trading, this applies to check the smaller time frame.
Yeah, 100%. Okay,
Hmm.
if I take this stuff out. So like it's all the same thing, even on the higher time frame, right? We have break a structure, and completely destroyed here. Same thing we had inside of here, remember?
Yeah.
And then the same thing we had here, or the same thing we had here. So it's all like this. That's gonna bring everything back. But this pattern is the same as this pattern here. Do you see that?
Oh yeah. Even on a 15-minute, it looks like this as well.
Yeah. So this is the same as this, and then this is the same as the daily as well. That's why I was saying everything's fractal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what's the time frame, it all looks the same.
It
They all
all
can
looks
be
the same.
applied the same.
Yeah.
If you covered the time frames, I would have thought this is a 15-minute time
Yeah,
frame.
exactly, dude. You could have done this for 15 minutes. This could be a 15-minute chart for
Yeah. Huh. All right.
Yeah. Like even if we bring up here, right? This is the same strategy. So we have our break of structure, right? And then what's our supply zones we look out for? This last up candle before the break of structure here, or this protected high candle here, right? These are the two zones we look for, right?
Hmm.
And then if we go down to a lower time frame, we still have our price come into these zones. And then if we keep going, there'll be a 15-minute change of character or a 1 hour change of character. And then we'll be able to see have confidence to take trades to the lower side. When looking to trade, how do you avoid sitting there for ages waiting for setups by also keeping a high performance with higher trades because you can't sit there all day?
Oh,
Yeah,
you basically said about setting alerts, right?
yeah. So, dude, it sucks sitting here all day and just looking for trades. That's when,
And the longer you sit there, it will cause analysis paralysis. So
yeah,
you want to be
exactly,
at
bro.
the charts as little as possible.
Exactly. And you just want to be done with it. Like you just want to take run some random trade and then just blow your whole account. Or you get bored, right? So what I do is in the morning, so let me clear all of this stuff up. Remove drawings. So in the morning, what I do is I wake up and I just analyze the chart. So we have a demand zone here, right? I'll set an alert and I'll get triggered in the morning. And I'll be like, oh, no way. It just like blew through my demand zone. That's fine. Now I'm looking for bearish sells, right? Now, what's my 1 hour supply zone, right? We keep going through the day, nothing really pops up. We have this supply zone, and then we had the break of structure here. Right, now what's my supply zone? This one and this one. Now I'll set alert for here and here. And then when I get triggered in, I'll open up my charts. I'll have a look. If it fits my criteria, right?
Mm,
I'll keep watching. If it doesn't, I'll just stop watching. Like, what's the point?
right. Okay.
Because then you try like make it make sense. So you use alerts in order. Yeah. I mean, even for where was it? Let me bring up. I don't know if you were here, Ryan, when I was going through this. This was my Euro USD trade. Um, and I was just saying, where do I set my alerts so I don't like look at the charts? So let me keep going.
By the way, Amiro, just as
Yeah,
you know, you got like 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, yeah?
yeah. I'll wrap it up now. But I just set my alerts where the supply zone is, so I don't have to watch the charts. I'll get a notification on my phone. Where is it? So I'll get a notification on my phone that, hey, prices hit break even. I'll open it up, move to break even, and then just stop looking at it. Does that make sense, Ryan? Just use your alerts, bro. There's no point looking at the charts all day.
So you rarely use market execution, right? You usually just set
Um,
alert.
no, so if I'm watching it and it's just there, I'll 90% of the time use market execution. Very rarely do I
Uh,
use limit orders.
right, okay. So it's only if you're at the charts.
Yeah, I've
Right.
had bad experiences with limit orders. Um, what if by then it's 2 p.m. and no volatility? Again, if it's 2 p.m. and the setup, they'll take it. Volatility can kick in later. You don't really need volatility. Just set the trade, try get to break even, and then just forget about it. If it takes you out, it takes you out. Just trade tomorrow. But I'll
Mm.
probably wrap it at that. I've got 3 minutes left. Any final questions?
Um, well, I wanted to go through the confluence and bias, but
Mm.
perhaps we could cover that in next meeting.
Yeah, we'll do one next week as well. Are you okay, Ryan, for next week?
I think you're experimenting with YouTube Live, right? So you can get the whole community involved
Yeah, I'll try to get
and
YouTube
also
Live to
like
work as
generate
well.
more traffic. So yeah,
No, so I'll get
the
Genie as
YouTube
well.
Live
I'm
is
sure he
good.
wants to host a session as well. But yeah, that was no. I'm glad you guys came. That's amazing.
Definitely. And
Thanks,
thank you so
man.
much for sharing this knowledge, man.
Yeah, of
Most people
course,
would
bro.
put a paywall, you know,
No,
on
of
this.
course.
So
Hit me up anytime. Just message me. I'll be more than happy to help.
thanks, bro. Thanks so much.
All the journey your trades, man. Channel them.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta get to the journaling portion of it. Yeah, I think you made a whole a page for it, right? In your
Yeah.
is
See
it
you,
like
Ryan. Take care.
guiding through Notion?
Yeah, I put it in Notion. You can just copy and paste it in and then just use that.
Right, right. Got it. Once you're free, just post this session over and I'll just look through it again in case there's anything
Yeah.
that I perhaps need to revise.
Yeah, 100%. I'll send you guys a message when I do. It takes like 20, 30 minutes to process, I think.
Ah, okay. Got it, got it.
No
Well,
stress.
thanks so much, Amiru.
Of course. Have a good one, man. Hope you get better.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Of
All
course.
right,
Take
have a
care.
happy new year, brother.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.